How do you measure 5 years in the life of Bexley? How do you measure 5 years in the life of the Bexley Community Foundation? In 2011, we introduced the foundation to you with the promise that we would strive to preserve the best of the Bexley experience while pursuing new ways to make Bexley the best that it can be. Let's take a brief look at some of the things that you, our donors, volunteers, and community partners have made happen since our first get-together in September of 2011.
Ain't she sweet? See her coming down the street. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. Now I ask you very confidentially, ye gods, ain't she sweet? Then you cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? Dodio, dodio.
Good evening. I'm Ann Lewis. As a lifelong resident of Bexley and a community volunteer, I'm honored to be a part of this evening's celebration of Bexley and to help share the success story of the Bexley Community Foundation's first 5 years. You've just seen a few examples of the Bexley Community Foundation's work. Now for the big picture. Since starting from scratch in 2011, the Bexley Community Foundation has awarded nearly 70 grants totaling over $570,000, ranging in amount from $900 to over $55,000 to community partners. Our grants have supported projects in the arts, beautification, community building, economic development, health and wellness, lifelong learning, public safety, and youth and recreation. Each of these program areas is a key element of Bexley's outstanding quality of life and why Bexley is simply the best. But the story of the Bexley Community Foundation is about more than statistics. We know that what makes Bexley a special place is you. So here are a few of your neighbors sharing their thoughts about how the Bexley Community Foundation is helping make our community the best it can be.
So much could be said about how the arts have enriched the lives of all of us in this community. My husband Bob, when he was living, and I shared a real passion for giving back to the community. And I feel so fortunate to be able to continue supporting the activities that make Bexley the wonderful community that it is. The thing that stands out for me is the Drexel Theater. Bob loved the movies, and he loved the Drexel Theater, and he was so enjoyed being part of the effort to save the theater. And I feel very fortunate to be able to help in restoring and refreshing the theater. It's going to just be terrific. We're so fortunate to have the Bexley Community Foundation.
So for many years, the Bexley 4th of July fireworks were held at Wolf Park. About 7 or 8 years ago, a group of the Bexley residents decided that we needed to have it back in Bexley. It has grown from an event of 2,000 or 3,000 people to an event of well over 10,000 people, and it is the single biggest event in Bexley these days. And as the event has grown, so has our expenses. In fact, this year, the fireworks cost doubled, and we have had an issue with donations, and we turned to the Bexley Community Foundation for assistance. And the Bexley Community Foundation stepped up, and they were our lead sponsor this year in giving the Bexley Celebrations Association $10,000, which really led us to the point of being able to have the event this year. Not only did the Bexley Community Foundation give us $10,000 to be the lead sponsor, but they also ensured the future of the event by buying us a stage and a tent to cover the stage, as well as a communication system for the event, as well as these beautiful feather flags that are used at the event every year.
Tim and I know how blessed we are that the Community Foundation has had faith in us and our committees to create wonderful opportunities for the community to have shared experiences and shared memories. The main event is my baby and my favorite event in Bexley. We watch movies under the stars. In May, we had 1,400 people join us to watch movies under the stars. Neighbors, thank goodness to the Bexley Community Foundation, have the opportunity to borrow items from the BPAC so that they can have block parties and create memories with their neighbors. And a couple of years ago, you will remember Chautauqua, and hopefully you have memories associated with that, joining all of our community for some exciting activities under a large tent on Capitol's lawn. So we are grateful to the Bexley Community Foundation for all that they do.
First and foremost, Bexley is a way of life, and we're fortunate enough to live that way of life in a very beautiful place. In fact, you might say we live in a park, or we live in an arboretum, and that in fact would be true. We have the towering trees, we have the Drexel Circle, we've got the beautiful grounds here at Jeffrey. All of things add a sense of beauty and order and maturity and permanence to what it means to be Bexley. If we look back in time, the expectation, I think, was always there that Bexley would be a beautiful place. People named streets Parkview, they named them Ardmore. The Jeffreys did a beautiful job here in terms of this arboretum. And people say Bexley doesn't change much year to year, but it actually improves. The flowers in Drexel Circle bloom brighter this year. The trees are taller. All of these things add to our sense of what Bexley is all about as a beautiful, beautiful place. And in a sense, what doesn't change is the commitment of people, because generation to generation, they reinvest in this town, and they make it the special place that it is.
This year, a couple of the programs that the Community Foundation has supported is improvements to our baseball program, baseball and softball program, through the donation of a pitching machine, which has been a huge help for our program. It's improved the quality of the program for the users. They've also supported our youth swim program, the Bexley Marlins. Through a grant program, we received a timing equipment that has improved the quality of the meets. You know, we're lucky being here with the Recreation and Parks Department. We get to see firsthand the impact of these programs on our community. Splish Splash and Dash this year with 325 participants had a huge reach across our entire community and even outside of our community. It gave us an opportunity to represent our community to a number of different participants that came from outside. One thing that we're really excited about being able to share are some of the stories we hear through these programs. We had a grandmother that came to us to tell us about her opportunity to work with her granddaughter over at the high school track in preparation for the youth triathlon. The idea that this grandma had an opportunity to spend quality time with her granddaughter and help build her confidence and prepare her for this event is some of this things that people don't always get to see that we do. But the impact is much more than just the day of 325 kids coming to participate, which is a wonderful event. But the amount of time it creates, the amount of interaction it creates among family and different members in our community is a special piece of what the program is about.
Bexley is a learning community, and the Bexley Community Foundation is proud to support educational initiatives. At Bexley Public Library, the Foundation has funded a variety of projects that help us reach our goal of enhancing discovery, exploration, and learning. From our tech core coding classes for kids, to our local history online digitization project, to supporting the WOSU Columbus Neighborhoods documentary series. The Bexley Community Foundation helps make Bexley simply the best place to learn and grow.
I'm standing here on this trail that connects Main Street to Livingston Avenue. This is the first piece of the park along Alum Creek that wasn't possible until the Bexley Community Foundation came along and funded it. For years we've been planning on this. For years it's just been this patch of underutilized land next to the creek. And in the future, we're going to be going towards athletic fields, and we're going to be going towards a fully usable park that will add another dimension to our Bexley experience. Yet one more way that the Bexley Community Foundation is making our city simply the best.
I hope this snapshot of the Bexley Community Foundation, in pictures and in the words of your neighbors, helps you ask, what's next? The volunteer board and the staff of the Bexley Community Foundation are planning the foundation's next steps to establish new goals, to change and grow in order to meet the challenges of Bexley's present and future. We'll need more of the right stuff that has made our beginning years so successful. Please join us in making Bexley simply the best it can be.